Hello and welcome to part 3 of Nobody Turn Me Around, The March on Washington by Charles Euchner. We're starting today on line 344 on page 65, and today will be the conclusion of the piece.
See it together.
Talk about the dream transforms time and space. What might come to pass later seems at hand now. With faith, ideals can be more real than the pain or poverty of the here and now. Sitting on a patch of grass far from the Lincoln Memorial, sipping cold drinks from thermoses, Ruth Bat Mordecai and some kids from a New York-based American Jewish Congress youth group listen to Martin Luther King's dream. As King gives voice to his dream, Ruth watches some black boys nearby. The boys laugh as King's voice climbs the ladder, higher and higher. They laugh so freely that their bodies shake. Ruth knows the crowd includes cynics, and she resents having her experience of King's dream ruined by these ones. How can you openly mock Dr. King at an event like this, and nobody seems to care? Suddenly, she recalls, we understand. The black boys are laughing not in mockery, but in joy, at the utter preposterousness of what Dr. King promises, and at its unutterable beauty. Across the mall, people call out the lines to each other. I have a dream, one says, that one day little black boys and black girls, says another. I have a dream, someone else says. Down in Alabama, comes the response. Strangers shout out, I have a dream. Tears fill Harold Bragg's eyes. It's like being before the pearly gates, as though we had reached the promised land, he says, even though King was laying out what was to come. With this dream, King brings his audience into a separate world, a distant, far-off place, but still so familiar. What is unreal is also very real. Then King moves to sustain his people for the hard journey ahead. He reminds the crowd that they need faith, stronger than any troubles of the moment, to realize the dream.
This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
King connects simple statements, repeated again and again. 100 years later, now is the time. We cannot be satisfied. Go back. I have a dream. With this faith, to America's true national anthem.
This will be the day,
he says,
when all of God's children will be able to sing with a new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true.
If. Then Full of the passion of the words of that simple anthem, King imagines freedom ringing, a dreamlike image, and exhorts the crowd to make this vision happen. He sings out lines full of sounds and sights, postcards from the American dream.
So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California.
All of these are northern places, and their images are ones of pure beauty. But that's not enough. King now invokes the sites of repression across the South.
But not only that. Let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi. From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Those lines come from one of King's old friends, a preacher from Chicago named Archibald Carey. In a speech at the 1952 Republican Convention, Carey sang, "My country, 'tis of thee," and cried, "Let freedom ring," and issued some of those same postcards. Finally, dizzy from the view of a nation teeming with freedom, King offers the moment of deliverance. He sways now. He lifts his whole body with the speech. The people in the crowd follow their king. They sway, they smile, and they laugh with anticipation of every new image.
And when this happens, when we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics.
Martin Luther King turns to his right and raises his right arm high, his elbow bent slightly, blessing the congregation at this great mass.
We'll be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, "Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last."